These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Frank 26 article quote. Al-Sudani and the International Monetary are discussing reforming the Iraqi banking system and efforts to combat corruption. There is no reason to reform Iraq's banks unless you are reforming the monetary reform. That's why the IMF meets with the CBI daily. Right, Nader from the Mideast is saying the CBI or the government didn't make a decision yet to support the dinar with anything. It's detached from the dollars, but not completely. It should be detached by the end of this week or next week, the beginning. The government has to support it with whatever they have reserve, gold, put it back on petroleum dinars. They have to have it attached to something else. It's going to take a couple weeks. Nader goes on to say it has no support. That's why you see the dollar going up from 14.60 to 15.51, and it might get to 15.52, 15.53. You'll see in a couple of weeks it going back, things will be getting better. You will see the dinar needs some support attached to some assets. The dinar will go up quick. It will be $1. I want to see 11.60, 11.70 for now. If it goes in that range, I'm sure it's going to go quicker after that. Right now, we're waiting for it to go in that range. Mark Zevia, PDK, from Iraq, the Democrat, announces the formation of a committee titled Article 40. The Kurdistan Democratic Party announced today a committee to legislate the oil and gas law. We were told a week or so ago that they had agreed to the framework, and this is it. It is now official and announced in Kurdistan. Long ago, we were told that Article 140 was one of the last stumbling blocks for revaluing the Iraqi currency, and they have now worked out the differences with Kurdistan region, including profit sharing, taxes, revenues, etc. For those of us that have been following this a long time, this is very good news. Frank 26 says the CBI is having explosive meetings right now with many countries and entities in preparation of Iraq's budget and the new exchange rate. The word mechanism is being used to cover the new exchange rate in the budget. Keep looking for that word because the governor of the CBI will be using it a lot from now on. All right, Pimpy says when it comes to Iraq, we're always taking one step forward and 3 steps back. There's problems with the currency auctions. They just can't seem to get it together. The Federal Reserve has been auditing the currency sales and they're not liking what they see. Some of the biggest issues that foreign investors and the international community had with Iraq, money laundering and financing of terrorists, at least they're catching these things, working with the United States to fix the issues. All right, Paulette says Sudani's GOI continues working, and I believe it will pass the budget in December. It then goes to Parliament, who will likely read it after reconvening approximately January 7th, 2023. This will be the first reading. It will then go to Parliament's Finance Committee for the study and observations. This often can take 30 days or more. Parliament then does the second reading. Changes may have been made, which legally requires it to go back to Sudani and his GOI to make changes upon return to Parliament. If all is agreed by Parliament, it can go for a third reading and vote, which is usually done line item by line item. Caparoni says, I've stated numerous times the auctions are twofold. The first is to provide dollars to pay for imports for the country. The second being to control the exchange rate by a balance between dinars and dollars. This new action by the central bank will put more dollars in the auction, weakening the dollar and strengthening the dinar, which Parliament has been talking about for several months because of the effects on the poor. All right, Claire, article quote, central bank, the exchange rate of the dollar will be returned to normal within 2 weeks. The exchange rate is still disciplined and will be returned to normal within 2 weeks, no more. Frank 26 says Iraq is going to be a currency hub, in my opinion, and the IMF, World Bank, U.S. Treasury, all these entities have done a wonderful job of getting the IQD in position to return to the glory days. Now Iraq will comply and go international and float, or they will go into a gradual increase. I don't know, but either one of these scenarios goes in the right direction, and that's what's happening in my opinion. And lastly, Mark Z via PDK from my contacts. There they are hoping for a float by midweek this coming week. I am beginning to believe, based on things coming out of DC, that this just might be a float and not go all at one time. So be prepared just in case. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm starting to get the growing feeling that we are going to see a low ball rate and float. This could be the same thing for Dong. Right now, it's just possibilities, so just be prepared for either direction.